Hello all, in this video we are going to solve question number 2 under simple numeric problems in JNTU R18 C language syllabus. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my terminal and I'll navigate to desktop, and there I'll create a question called question number 2 directory, and I'll navigate there, and then I'll open the same in VS Code. Okay, now our VS Code is opened, so I'm going to create a file and name it as interest.c, and I'll copy the program here and write the program for simple and compound interest. Okay, we'll start writing the program. So the basic structure of C program and how to read write data from the console, I made a separate video on that. Check out the description for that video link. Okay, time to code. I'm gonna write the main function and return 0. I'm gonna include standard input output header file so that we can use printf and scanf. So here we are supposed to read, simple interest and compound interest. We need to know the formula for simple interest. Okay, so it's principal into time into rate of interest. So we are supposed to read 3 variables. Okay, so as money is involved here, basically, right, interest and time and rate of interest. So what I'm going to do is, instead of integer, I'm going to take float, the floating type. It's float data type. Okay, float, I'll call it as principal amount, and then float time, float rate of interest, right? I'll call it as ROI, rate of interest. And now we are supposed to ask the user to enter. Okay, enter principal amount, comma, time. We are gonna ask him to enter the time in months, and then rate of interest. Okay, now we are supposed to read the same. So the format specifier would be percentile F. I'm gonna read into principal amount, time, ROI. Okay, so the program execution starts from here. Main function, it will search for the main function and starts executing the program line by line, and every statement in the C language will end with semicolon. And so here, these 3 lines, it will actually create 3 variables to store principal amount, time, and rate of interest. And here it will print whatever we write here onto the console. So the user will be prompted to enter these details. Okay, and the respective details will be stored in these variables accordingly. Now I'm going to write some meaningful comments, like, because we are supposed to calculate simple interest and compound interest. So calculating, I'll call it as simple interest, and here calculating compound interest. So we already know the formula, so I'll simply use that formula. Okay, so here directly I'll declare float simple interest equal to principal amount into time into rate of interest divided by 100, because rate of interest is like 10%, so 10 by 100 into, we are actually asking him in months, right? So we are also supposed to divide it by number of months in a year, that is 12. And I'm gonna print the same percentile F simple interest. So to have some clean output, simple interest equal to, okay, and I'm going to give a new line also. That's it. Now we'll go for compound interest. So we need to know the compound interest formula also. We can see that compound interest equal to principal into 1 plus r by n. R is rate of interest and n is compounding frequency. So this compound interest will be compounding for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and some call compounding as eighth wonder of the world. Okay, so compounding is magic when it comes to money. Okay, so looking at this formula, we can actually start writing the same in C language. First thing what I'm going to do is whatever is there in that 1 plus r by n to the power of nt, right? So I'm going to use some math functions here called POW. For that, we are supposed to include another library called math.h. Okay, so here I'll create a variable called temp1. Obviously I'm going to declare it as float, power of 1 plus r by n. R is rate of interest divided by frequency. Okay, we are supposed to ask the user to enter the compounding frequency. Okay, I'm gonna read it into percentile f. So we did not declare this variable compounding frequency, so I'm going to declare now here, or here I'll declare float compounding frequency. Now n is compounding frequency, right? So ROI by n, but here rate of interest is like percentage, like 100 into. Okay, now what happened, comma. Now what I'm supposed to do is y is n into t. N into t. N is the compounding frequency. Okay, and t is the time. Again, time we basically entered in what? We entered time in months, right? So we are supposed to divide it by 12. Okay, so here I'm gonna give time divided by 12. So in that formula, once again we look at the formula. So formula 1 plus r by n to the power of nt is done. So then principal into this temp1 minus principal, right? So finally I'm gonna print percentile f principal amount into whatever we stored in temp1, okay, then minus principal amount. So in order to make this simpler, what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to put it in another variable and I'm going to call it as compound interest. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to print the compound interest here. And for clean output, I'm going to put compound interest equal to percentile f and a new line. Now we'll start executing the program. For that, we need to know how to compile and run the program. And to compile the program, we are supposed to use GCC. Okay, GCC, and the file name here is interest. Output, I'm gonna give the binary as interest. So what exactly happens here is whatever we have written here, the high level language or the simple English statements, okay, this will be converted into machine language, wherein your operating system, in my case it is Ubuntu, will be able to understand your binary and the instructions that you have given here and will be executing the code accordingly. So we'll try to press enter and it's telling there is some error. Okay, this is probably linking error. Whenever you use this math.h, we'll be getting this linking problem. So for that, what you're supposed to do is give space and give -lm. Now you can see the binary popping up and there are no errors, no warnings, and we'll try to run the program and see the output. Okay, to run the program, the command is / interest and a principal amount, time, rate of interest. Okay, so principal amount is 10,000 and time is, I'm going to give 24 months and rate of interest is 10. Okay, so if this is the case, the simple interest would be per year we are going to getting 10% means 1,000. So 24 months it's going to be 2,000. So simple interest would be 2,000. Okay, perfecto. But here we are getting 6 zeros, right? So in order to have clean output, I can put dot 2f here, so that the decimals will be printed, only 2 decimals will be printed after the point. Okay, and here now the logic has come here. It's asking for me to enter the compounding frequency. So for simplicity, I'm going to give just annually. Okay, it's a compound frequency is once a year. So if I enter, now the compound interest is 2,100. Okay, I calculated it manually on the piece of paper and it's 2,100. And again, for clear output, I'm going to give dot 2f. Okay, and again we'll compile it and then run it. For simplicity, again I'll give 10,000, 24 months, rate of interest is 10. Yes, see, you can see only 2 zeros are coming here, and enter the compounding frequency. I'll give 1 and 2,100. That's it. We successfully wrote a C program to calculate the simple and compound interest. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, please like the video, share and subscribe. It will motivate me a lot to make more similar content.